Hey everybody, I hope you're well. My name's Andrea. I'm an author, a coach, entrepreneur, and a jack of all trades, mostly known to my friends. I'm here today to talk about my book, co-written with the amazing Faye Dobinson, who's an artist, activist, educator, a phenomenal human being, and has been my friend for a very, very long time. I wanted to tell you the backstory actually about what happened and how the book came about. It's available in Amazon, by the way. It's available through my website, and I shall drop all the information in under the video. So 10 years ago, believe it or not, it was 10 years ago, Faye and I went to Malta for holiday for our birthdays. Faye's birthday is 2 days before mine. And on her birthday, we woke up in the morning, the sun was shining. It was March, so at home in London was really cold. And we were in Malta, it was lovely, the sun was shining. So we went straight out and saw a bar open and was like, well, let's, go in and have a glass of bubbles to celebrate the birthday, as you do. Anyway, so we do that. One glass turns into one glass turns into another glass, etc., etc. And before we know it, we'd got into a very deep conversation, which is very normal for us. We're both Pisceans, so this is standard practice. When we get together, we're straight in. And we sort of was having this real sort of reflection moment and asked ourselves, what piece of advice we would give ourselves if we were 10 years younger. Now, this kind of question has been floating about a bit recently. I've seen a lot of people talking about it on social media and stuff like that, but it was really great because I was thinking, this is exciting. People are starting to say that again. And that reminded me of our trip to Malta. Anyway, cut a very long story short, over that weekend, we posed that question to a lot of people, whoever we met along the way, whether it be people in bars or restaurants, the waiters, you name it. We went to the theatre that evening and we were in a queue, blah, 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 blah. We asked people that question and we asked what they would say. Now, this social experiment that was kind of naturally and organically happened over that weekend was so interesting. Of course, you got the big sweeping statements like, I would tell myself to trust more or slow down more or, feel more worthy, etc., etc. But when people really started to think about the question, their answers became a lot deeper. They'd scratched the surface and a lot more stuff was coming out. And this was when it started to really chime with us, because if you don't think about things and let them settle and percolate, then really, you are only ever scratching the surface. So that was one thing. And then we were like, well, how wonderful would it be for us to be able to put this down in a book, so other people could see it, and then other people would read it and then perhaps think about their own lives and their own sort of, experiences and journeys and future-proof themselves a little bit better, with a lot more thought and consciousness. So anyway, that was 10 years ago. And through all the best intentions, life got in the way, and we didn't finish it. But this year, it was the end of last year actually, I got the book together and actually surprised Faye with it on her birthday this year, 10 years later, because she was here staying with me on the lovely island of Gozo, which is where I live. Anyway, it was kind of wrapped up as a draft. Since then, we have gone both into it again and had a look and tweaked it a little bit. What's really interesting is that there's lots and lots and lots of quips in here. And I think we changed 3 or 4 overall out of the hundreds of stuff that's in there, which was really, really interesting because all of it is timeless. This information is timeless. This advice is timeless. It's not a self-help book. It's not a book that you read cover to cover. It's a bedside table book. It's something that you leave on the coffee table or get out at dinner to spark conversations. You can give it to your kids so they start to understand their feelings more and understand how to articulate what they need. some people use them as journal prompts. In fact, I've been going back in through them and using them as journal prompts and using them as sort of foundations for more thought, more writing, more creative writing. I write a weekly magazine on Substack called the Metox magazine. If you are interested, come and join me. Anyway, basically they're daily reminders for keeping everything real. And the bottom line of it is that it's going to give you another way to look at things. So when you're stuck in a funk, or you really got to that point where you're over something, to the point of shoving it under a carpet, we all do it. This book will help you reframe stuff. Now you can use it as a guide, or you can pop in there every now and again when you need something. So I can open it right now, and I'm going to get stop creating stories that aren't there. Don't trust the edit. So that's really interesting. So don't stop creating stories that aren't real. Don't trust the edit. Now, that could be, all of a sudden my mind is full. So don't trust the edit means that, people are only ever going to show you certain versions of themselves, or the version of themselves that they want you to see. The news is only ever going to show you stories that they want you to know for whatever reason. We have to trust our guts. We have to have our guts intact. And I think that's one of the biggest pandemics on the planet right now, is that the synapse between our guts and our hearts and our doing, our actions, is weak. And we really do need to strengthen those synapses. Now, obviously, when we aren't trusting our gut, we're just like loose cannons. We're running all over the shop, and we will create stories that aren't real. We do it every day. I did it before I got on to do this video. Why are you doing this, Andrea? No one's going to watch it. No one cares what you're doing. Blah, 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 blah. But there's just something burning in me to say, do it. Put it out there. It might just be one person that sees it. And if that one person is you, hi. Good to meet you. Connect. Let's connect. Anyway, I don't want to go on and on and on and on and on. It's available on Amazon as a hardback and a paperback. You can find all the information on my website, andreabritton.com. I'll put all the details below. But get it, because it's something that is, as I said, a very timeless, thought-provoking, useful and functional piece of writing, and a lot of heart and soul went into it from myself and the lovely Faye. Anyway, I'm signing off now, but thanks so much for listening if you made it to the end.